You also mentioned that you use APIs of some sort, so can you tell us more about this?
So I alluded to this exciting development earlier on, in the fact that at the moment, as we speak, the capability to stand up our data is coming partly from on-prem for the website and partly from an older AWS capability from the app. In bringing those two together in a new modern AWS capability, what we have is the ability not only to expose our public data to our web and our app and other internal capabilities, but also to expose those API, those data directly to external users in API format. And that will be effectively the same data. It will be exactly the same data that we're using for our app and our website we expose to external third parties. So other third parties will be able to come along. If you're an app developer or a web developer, you'll be able to create your own app based on exactly the same data that the Metaverse app is using, exactly the same data that the website is using, and you'll be able to consume that at volume if you choose to. Through a capability we're going to expose. We do have a service that is again based on on-prem infrastructure at the moment, but that's never been operational and it's always been limited. Now we'll have a new service based on the same data from the same AWS platform that will allow those APIs to be exposed. You can build your own Meta Office wherever you want to in the world using the same data that we expose. And we're hoping to get that out of the door by the end of this calendar year. And we're really looking forward to that.
If you want to prototype and experiment right now, you can do that. So we are those 10 terabytes of model data a day that I mentioned. We are currently exporting it to Earth for AWS, and it's with a 24-hour delay with a non-commercial, non-attribution license. But the exact same data that Chris mentioned, it's there. So if you go to the Earth for AWS website and scroll down until you find the Meta Office, the instructions on how to use that data are quite simple and it's there. It's also supported by a community based on GitHub, so you can participate as well if you want.
So what was the most surprising revelation or experience you had when you were architecting or partially moving your systems on AWS?
So I think for us, I'll do something probably nothing like you guys are going to do. We have a space weather service, which is, space weather is an interesting name for that, but it's monitoring the sun and how that affects the planet, the electrical grids. It can send out all kinds of nasty stuff. It's got a really big science component to it. It's got lots of models. It's very siloed in terms of it's not our big forecaster production system. It's quite a niche area. But we've got some scientists who work on those models, and what used to happen is they would write a model, fling it across the development team. The development team would kind of package it up, wrap it a bit, try and put a test around it here and there, ping it up onto a box and get that running on-prem. We've started moving that onto the cloud. So these are quite big models, so at the moment it's still kind of very EC2, but we're Dockerizing these, and we've actually shown the science developers how to run things in a Docker stack, and we can now take that really quickly and start operationalizing that, and we've reduced the time and the conversation gap between our science developers and our technology developers, and now they're actually working together and they're contributing to the same GitHub repos. They're actually teaching each other how to work. The traditional devs, shall we say, are kind of showing the science devs what unit testing looks like, what kind of operationalizing things looks like, because it's quite a sort of out of the way at the moment. So actually the surprising thing for us is that accidentally we've seen two different groups just come really close together, and the speed and turnaround of doing that work has been tremendous, and both sides are really gaining from that. And they put a model out beginning of last year in the traditional way. That took 3-4 months to get from here to here. The last time we did it where they worked together, that was under a month. That was a significant time thing. So actually I think that was a surprise, is how much it's linked other parts of the office together.
Amazing, Chris. What about you?
Not quite so much of a surprise, but a couple of years ago I was the architect on a large project, and one of the things I had to write as part of my obligations was the capacity plan. Now that capacity plan involved me working out capacity over about 7 or 8 different subsystems. I recently wrote a capacity plan for a new AWS system, and it consisted of one paragraph which said, this system will scale to infinite capacity. All you need to do is find more money. And I'm very grateful to AWS for saving me a week of work.
Awesome. Thank you.
I think my surprise was kind of finding that serious enterprise level software development, the same one that saves lives, the same one that gives billions of pounds of return to UK PLC, can be fun again. And when you, as I mentioned before, when the same technologies that you use in the office to write weather warnings or high-level data visualization are the same ones that you use to write Alexa skills, that is very powerful. And that makes, puts a smile on our developers' faces.